Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Guide, Edward.
And the greatest driver.
Driver, Dean.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Edward
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Yes, thank you, Jimmy. Such a lovely and personal introduction. Folks, safety first and foremost before we get on our way. So these are just some regular reminders here at the tour. Alright, number one, folks, don't forget, in case of an emergency, like a medical emergency, a bathroom emergency, something falls off the side of the tram, or you have any major audio or visual issues in your car, simply pull the red cord in the center, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. Like you mentioned earlier, we are aware of the flickering monitor in car 2 and the monitor completely out in car 1. We'll be on our way regardless. Got some cool stuff to show you. Okay, this is the most important one, folks. Please remain seated at all times. Keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle. We are taking you into private property of this real working studio. It is prohibited to jump out of the tram at any time. Just like our theme park, please no smoking of any kind during the tour. And last but not least, be prepared for just about anything, especially for our first-time tour takers on board. We got some built-in attractions. Expect the unexpected with loud noises, fire effects, sudden tram movements, and some water effects as well. So keep those personal belongings nice and close. We got a lot of cool stuff happening. We're gonna start things off by showing off our beautiful Universal logo, just like any other movie. Now this is typically our movie timeline. We have posters on either side of the trampoline. Construction is taking over this area of our park. So even as a tour guide, I love being able to see this daily renovation happening, or basically a new attraction coming to our theme park. They've officially announced a brand new roller coaster coming to Universal Studios Hollywood. Of course, no other real details have been announced. Check out our social media pages and websites for all other up-to-date information regarding this new attraction being built on your left-hand side. And then, of course, you might have noticed on your right, there's really cool views of the lower left portion of our theme park. You'll be heading down there later on today if you haven't been there already. The brand new Super Nintendo World, Jurassic World, Transformers, and the Mummy roller coaster. That's all downstairs on the lower loft portion. But so much has changed and is still changing over the years. So get this, all on your monitors. This is opening day, March 15, 1915. Our main founder, Carl Levely, envisioning this literal city dedicated to making motion pictures. They were silent films at the time. Admission was only 25 cents to watch those movies being made. You could cheer on the good guys, do the bad guys during the silent film era. Okay, so currently on your right-hand side, this is not a movie set. This is a real working fire station. You might notice your first dinosaur spotting here in the front lawn for a Studio 2, all decked out for the holiday season. Got a bunch more dinosaurs to show off, don't you worry about a thing. So all of this is Universal City. That's our City Walk location, our movie studio, and our theme park, just around 400 acres, representing this real working city, where we have our own sheriff's department, fire station, and zip code 91608. But no residents. No one actually lives here in this beautiful city. So straight ahead to your left, we're taking you into what we call the front lot of our studio. A little bit of construction here. They're finishing up their 5-year studio expansion. Brand new campus being built outside of your first downstage sighting. So to your left, this is stage 12, the previous home to the hit singing competition show The Voice. Now for my Voice fans, they are still filming. Their new home is on the back lot. We'll point out their new home later on. This current season, we have Reba McEntire, John Legend, Gwen Stefani, and Niall Horan as the 4 coaches. But if you take a look at your monitors, these are some of the movies that once filmed inside that stage on your Okay, I love Jurassic Park. Of course, this movie filmed a lot on location in the state of Hawaii. It also filmed in many of our sound stages, including the interior of the Visitor Center built inside of Stage 12. Okay, 'tis the season, another great example of Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This movie, folks, still holds a record for the largest production of film in our studio lot. Took over the most stages at any given time. Now, as a tour guide, I have to keep a lookout for these little red lights outside of the soundstage doors. These are what we call wig-wag lights. Whenever the doors are all closed, those red lights are on and spinning. That means I should be a little bit quieter. I'll go completely off microphone just in case. Now, if you're not familiar with the industry, just last week, a few days ago, the 118-day SAG strike ended, so a lot of production has already picked back up, literally within hours or days. So all this production activity you're noticing on your left is brand new. It's not set up for the tour. That's all real life. So we got catering, we got commercials, music videos, filming here on a dime, big TV shows, scripted and not, or picking back up on our studio lot. Very popular soundstage is coming up on your left. Stage 14. So many years ago, this is where Ron Howard's production team built NASA's mission control for his movie Apollo 13. For my Jurassic Park fans on board, remember the scene in Jurassic Park where Tim, the young boy, he's stuck in the Ford Explorer as it's about to fall down the tree with Sam Neill? That was filmed inside of Stage 14 in the early 90s too. Even the scene where Lex gets sneezed on by the Brachiosaurus, that was also inside that stage. Yeah, not real trees, not real dinosaurs. You heard it here first. Now I will say the past 5 years, a lot of TV shows have been filming here. And some of the shows are streaming on Peacock, our streaming service, including Grand Crew, starring Nicole Byer, the first 2 seasons of Bel-Air, the dramatic retelling based off the original Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and even this show, I just rewatched it. I love it so much. It's called Superstore. Stars America Ferrera, Barry Calvin, and Nico Santos. Take a look.
I know it's hard in here, but let's have some patience for one month.
Yeah, you know, the heat makes it a small act.
If your face stays where it is, it's gonna get punished.
Yeah, so this was Cloud9 Superstore, built for the show Superstore. Took over 3 sound stages for this show's 6-season run. Now think about other types of shows. We were just home to the Kelly Clarkson Daytime Talk Show. All 4 seasons. That show just moved to New York City not too long ago. The stage is on your right. They've been home to game shows over the years. Celebrity Family Feud with host Steve Harvey. And his game show, Hollywood Game Night with host Jane Lynch.
Whose name is worth more in Scrabble times? Uzo Aduba or David Oyelowo?
Okay, folks, I want to bring up 2 more shows really quick. One show is currently streaming on Peacock. It's called Killing It, starring Craig Robinson. They filmed their 2nd season inside Stage 19 not too long ago. And then another show is coming to our streaming service very soon. It is based off a very lovable, fictional teddy bear. You might see a statue on your left. Yeah, cheers, Ted. If you haven't heard the good news, Ted is getting his little prequel TV series coming to Peacock early 2024. Most of the first season already filmed like a year ago on our studio lot. So if you're familiar with the tour, watch the TED TV show coming out in a couple of months, or who knows. And maybe you recognize a little bit of our studio backlogs. Yeah, so take a look around you, of course. All these posters on your right, some of the shows we already talked about, including Bel-Air, The Voice, and That's My Jam has Filter. If you watch a little bit of that show, Jimmy Fallon does fly out here from time to time, even though his Tonight Show films in New York City. Okay, currently, on your left, we're still in the front lot, and these little bungalows played dressing rooms to the stars during the golden age of film. Stars like Rock Hudson, Jimmy Stewart, Doris Day, Lucille Ball, but over the years, turned into production offices to some of the biggest writers, producers, directors in town. So, big example, if you love musicals, you might see Mark Platt production offices on your left. They produce a musical Wicked on Broadway. Now, Wicked just celebrated its 20th anniversary on Broadway. Wicked the movie, already in the works. You might also notice Bungalow 5195. Those offices once belonging to the master of suspense himself, Mr. Alfred Hitchcock. But you'll also see our last stages here on your left, on the front lot. They were just used for the brand new sitcom Lopez vs. Lopez. They were also used for the revival seasons of Will and Grace. They were first used for the production of Hairspray Live back in 2016 with Ariana Grande, Derek Huff, and Martin Short. So folks, this round is changing today. We might be heading right into our first attraction with King Kong 360 3D. I know they might be doing some filming within our metropolitan area. So have those 3D glasses ready just in case. Yeah, I think we're going right up. All right. 3D glasses nearby. Folks, if you're not familiar with the tour, this will be a bumpy ride. Make sure all your belongings are nice and close. And you have your cameras out. Make sure any lights and flash photography are off as well. Got a really cool view of our metro sets. We'll see those again once we exit our King Kong attraction. But like I said, they are currently filming a little bit of something in our metro sets on your left.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 when I was I like films that just take you away from your real life, sweep you up the edge. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board a ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters, and creatures from, you know, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to be along for the ride. Now we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
All right, folks, we have our little pre-show tunnel. Let your eyes adjust before we head on into the theater. Like I mentioned, if you have your cameras out, keep those cameras close. We don't want anything falling off the sides, especially inside of our attractions. Much more difficult to retrieve. Keep that in mind. Lights and flash photography off. That will ruin the attraction for those guests around you. And smaller children closer towards the center of the row. Let's do this. Take off those 3D glasses, keep them nearby for later on if I need them again. We just survived King Kong 360 3D. This was one of the world's largest projected 3D attractions. Okay, so each screen inside that theater, 40 feet tall, 180 feet wide, built back in 2018, 13 years ago. Peter Jackson and his visual effects production team over at Weta FX. They're based out of New Zealand. Weta FX also won their 6th Academy Award for their work on Avatar, The Way of the Water. They've worked on other big blockbusters like the Lord of the Rings trilogies, the Hobbit trilogies, and Furious 7. That was Weta FX who brought you King Kong 360 3D. Let's take a look on your left, folks. This is our Metro Call area. Really close for a little bit of filming. See some props added to the sidewalks, some benches, some trash cans, those are all props added to the set itself. So real life production has taken place on your left hand side for shows like the Mindy Project starring Mindy Kaling and Ike Barinholtz, Good Girls with Christina Hendricks, Mae Whitman and Retta. If you watched Parenthood with Craig T. Nelson and Lauren Graham, that location was downtown Berkeley, California. We've had musical artists from BTS. Jungkook just had this music video for Seven there not too long ago. Even other artists like Billie Eilish, Lady Gaga, Britney Spears have done music videos from one time to another in those metropolitan movie sets. If you notice on your right-hand side, this bridge, that was a former studio tour attraction. No joke. If you were 80s or 90s, it was called the Collapsing Bridge. Oh, you guys saw Coyote? Do you see how my face wasn't like, I wasn't thrown off at all? Yeah, I see this all the time. But for you guys, check out, there are some real wildlife. Okay, we got bunnies and birds, of course. But yeah, there might be a coyote here and there. They won't jump on the tour, though. They've seen it all. Yeah. This tour actually started in July of 1964. We're celebrating our 60th anniversary for the tour this upcoming summer. This on your monitors was another classic attraction. It was called the Parting of the Red Sea. The guests never actually jumped into the water, but the tram drove through this little lake on our back lot. If you notice on your monitors, you'll see another familiar face in just a moment. Not a coyote, a giant gorilla. Our classic King Kong attraction featured in the movie The Wizard in 1989. There he is, look how fluffy he was. Oh gosh, his breath would smell like bananas, no joke. It was actually built within our classic metro area back in those days. Confrontation. Feel free to have your cameras out, shift your focus to your left to some other well-known vehicles. Alright folks, some of those other vehicles that would go on to become just as famous as the actors driving them. Got some futuristic cars from the year 2015, the year they went back to the future. Got some prehistoric cars from the Flintstones. Yabba dabba doo. The Ford Anglia from Warner Brothers' Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. We are here at Universal. Our biggest franchise is Fast and the Furious and Jurassic. For my Jordan Peele fans, you'll also recognize the Fry's Electronics tech team man from his movie Nope, Summer 2022. The military tank from Paramount's Transformers, mostly made out of plywood. Yeah, that's Hollywood for you. For my dinosaur fans on board, you're in safe company. I love Jurassic World Dominion. For the younger audience, there was Camp Cretaceous on Netflix. That's the animated show. And if you love dinosaurs, there's a show on Apple Plus TV. It's called Prehistoric Planet. Have you heard of it? So it's narrated by the BBC guy, David Attenborough. Familiar with that guy? David Attenborough. So this, his brother in real life, Sir Richard Attenborough, you might know him as John Hammond. Yeah, that guy. To Jurassic Park. So folks, around the trail, we're going to notice some other set pieces, props, and picture cars, all featured in the original Jurassic Park trilogy. On your right, the boat from JP3 during the final battle with the Spinosaurus. On your left, the very long mobile lab unit vehicle featured in the 1997 film The Lost World Jurassic Park. And to top it all off, my co-workers told me we got some really cute dinosaurs locked inside these cages up front. Oh no, Dean, this is not looking good. Folks, these cages are empty. Hang on, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Watch out for her. No sudden movements. She's just a dinosaur. Just a dinosaur. Take a closer look at these giant tree trunks. They're not real either. Chicken wire, foam rubber, just a really good paint job. All the other plants are real. A little collaboration from our greens department with some fake giant tree trunks here in the back lot. I'll show you this on your monitors. This is actually the mobile lab unit scene featured in the Lost World Jurassic Park, which filmed inside of the soundstage here in our studio lot, and then used one of our parking structures to make it look like a side of a cliff. Because filming on a real cliff would be very, very dangerous. So they say. Also during this scene on your monitors, it's raining. The very first time we saw the T-Rex in Jurassic Park, it was also raining. Now productions, they'll add these elements of weather to increase the drama, the terror, the romance, whatever the case may be. We'll bring it down to Old Mexico where we'll show off our perfect weather demonstration. Now we've been filming here today too, so we might see some new things happening. Who knows? Alright, we're going to start things off with strobe lighting and sound effects here in Old Mexico. Let's add some water. Show you how we make it rain. Awesome. So folks, this is how we do it here in Hollywood. We have sprinkler systems located throughout this land. We shoot that water up, falls down as naturally as possible. We do produce these rain droplets to be a little bit larger than the real thing, so it makes that better uphill. But other productions, they may call for something much, much bigger. Something as big as a disaster. So in just a few moments, expect a lot more water than normally. Yeah, as some of us on board like to say, when it rains, it pours. Dun, dun, dun. Those are some of the water effects you mentioned. That is a cut on our flash flood experience, brought to life by 10,000 gallons of water being released to the top of the hill. A fun attraction featured in the movie Big Fat Liar with Paul Giamatti. I always recommend rewatching Lady Gaga's Judas music video. She also filmed in Old Mexico and used her flash flood for that. It's a fun rewatch. Other artists from Janet Jackson to Enrique Iglesias in the music videos here. TV shows like HBO's Westworld and Star Trek Picard on Paramount Plus, and movies from Nacho Libre with Jack Black to the first Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean utilized Old Mexico from time to time. Now let's bring it to the Old West. 6 points. As you were, featured in the brand new show Quantum Leap starring Raymond Lee. Their second season should be starting up soon. This area was also featured in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon. Now look here. Nice folks in this tram don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 Points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal line.
I hear this is where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot you.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Lucky shot.
Now what say you mount up and get out of town while the getting's good?
All right. Well, I'll see you again, Fallon.
Oh, you can count on it, fella. Now get.
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
We just have time out.
All right, folks, so picture this. Summer 2019. This area was closed off for the studio tour for 4 months. They added dirt to the street, brought horses on set, everyone dressed up as cowboys. That was for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that Quentin Tarantino movie. So if you're not familiar with how it takes place, they took over this area of our backlight. See, notice for about 30 minutes the entire movie, so it's a good chunk of time in the feature film. Check it out if you want to. Of course, that took over our backlight for a good chunk of that year, 2019. To your left, those are currently the new home for The Voice. They're working on their 24th season. Just outside, you also have this beautiful man-made body of water to your left, which many years ago played home to this classic Universal monster. The creature from the Black Lagoon. Okay, so on your monitors, you'll notice the creature, the gill man if you were, some palm trees, and then a mountain all the way in the back. That mountain is actually straight ahead to your right. That is Mount Lee, the backside of where the Hollywood sign is located. So we are just north of Hollywood. We're going to bring you down to Little Europe, change of language, set decoration, presto, any European city for Hollywood filming. This area of our backlot, of course, home to other classic monster movies. We are celebrating our 90th anniversary of the original Invisible Man, played by Claude Rains. We also recently celebrated the 100th anniversary of the original Hunchback of Notre Dame. All right, let's bring it now into our current version of Little Europe, which still gets recognized as the afterlife, the neighborhood of all 4 seasons of the hit show The Good Place, starring Ted Danson and Kristen Bell.
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I have never ever seen this.
You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
I love this show. I have rewatched it several times, so feel free to geek out on the tour as you should. Folks, all these production vehicles are new to me. I was here yesterday, so that means another production is probably touching up this area and getting ready for filming, which is always good, always good. So get this, Little Europe, also recognized as Genovia from Princess Diaries 2, with Roy Gage with Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews, especially during the parade scenes. Rewatch those scenes. It'll look very familiar. For my Buffy the Vampire Slayer fans with Sarah Michelle Gellar, they filmed here for those 1800s flashbacks with David Boreanaz, who played Angel, very fitting for our history here with Monsters at Little Europe. And then even big musicals filmed here, Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella with Whitney Houston, Brandy, Whoopi Goldberg. They celebrated their 25th anniversary not too long ago. A lot of their big dance numbers took place here for that version of Cinderella. Okay, so just across the street from Little Europe, you'll recognize a two-story house. No one lives here. We're not bothering anyone. We're going to actually see a lot more homes in just a moment. This particular house built for a talk show called Home and Family, aired on the Hallmark Channel for 9 years, which is a very calm and quiet zone for the studio tour Monday through Friday. And then, whether you're familiar with the tour or not, I do like to point out it's looking so good from the outside. Soundstage 50 on your right. This is one of our classic studio tour attractions. We'll be coming back to the studio tour as of, I believe they announced spring of 2024. It's closed as of this past spring, so almost a full year refurbishment. And that will start shaking things back up again here at the tour. Cool. Once we get clearance to bring it to your next location, let me show you this on your monitors. This is Little Europe, way before the studio tour, way before the theme park ever existed.
Listen now, the monster. He's in the woods. Get out the bloodhounds. Raise all the men you can, lock the women indoors, and wait for me. I'm ready!
Of course, Frankenstein, kind of the beginning of the franchise, if you will. There were many other spin-offs after the original Frankenstein monster movie. You had Bride of Frankenstein, Son of Frankenstein, then some unique spin-offs like Frankenstein meets Abbott and Costello and Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. But many people's favorites, and my personal favorite, Bride of Frankenstein.
When we think of Universal, we think of monsters.
Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Bride of Frankenstein,
The Mummy,
The Hunchback of Notre Dame, The Invisible Man, Phantom of the Opera. Classic films. They're just brilliantly made. That Frankenstein image, Flathead, it's one of the great icons of the world. That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror film. And I was just mesmerized by this movie. Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney.
I remember the original Universal Studios Mummy movie really scaring me.
It's still ringing in our memories now.
So folks, in terms of where we are, we're kind of like looped back around the outskirts of 6 Points on your right. There's Old Mexico again, but we just got clearance to bring you back to Amity Island, the small New England town once terrorized by that great white man-eating shark. Jaws, yeah, you might have heard of him. So, we caught the shark giving us troubles. We're not insane. There he is. We had a police officer, Diver George, on one final sweep earlier this morning. Got a brand new vegan bakery opening up here. Things are changing. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a good time. So please remain seated as always. We'll be on our way in just a moment. A little sneak peek, if you will. We won't tell you while we're here. Uh-oh, that's not good. I don't like that change of music. And, oh, that's not good either. Okay. Folks, remain seated. There appears to be another larger shark in these waters. As always, remain seated. Where did that shark go? Oh my gosh. Oh no. Okay, did not learn this during training. That's George, I think. Folks, kids especially, look away, kids, nothing to worry about. Okay, George, yeah, he is highly qualified, and some say he's the best that we had. Oh no, that's a lot of red. Okay, yep. Folks, on an unrelated note, we will be clearing this location. Why are there gasoline tanks on the here? That's not good. Dean, let's get out of here. Okay, well, the trap's stalling out. And out with the water. That barrel of bait is moving. This is not good, folks. We're not alone. Oh, okay, yeah, things just backfired. We're gonna need a bigger tram. Sit down. Thank you so much. Appreciate your cooperation. That's a cut, Bruce. Back to one. Look at him go. Only shark in the world that can do the backstroke. He's so talented. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Back to one. Look at him go. So beautiful. We do nickname him Bruce. During the filming of the movie Jaws, the casting crew also nicknamed their sharks Bruce. They nicknamed their sharks after Steven Spielberg's attorney, Shark lawyer. Now, as funny as that sounds, it's entirely true. I bring this up if you're also familiar with Disney Pixar's Finding Nemo, the animated shark. Yeah, fish are friends, not food. His name was Bruce. That was a nod to Steven Spielberg and the movie Jaws. Now, the movie Jaws didn't really film here. Mostly filmed on location, Martha's Vineyard on the East Coast. This attraction was brought to life in 1976 after Jaws was a summer blockbuster hit. So their filming, their sharks, didn't have the same story as ours. Ready for the next case? Their sharks had some very bigger issues on set.
That's much of the line shark. The shark was really good. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever we were on an island, here they were always saying, "Shark is not working for me. The shark."
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited. The shark worked well enough for a while there in the music. So I really owe the shark a lot.
Not only was their mechanical sharks nicknamed Bruce, the cast and crew also nicknamed their production flaws because of all the troubles with Sharkadium. Yes, on your monitors, a real image of young Steven Spielberg and their mechanical sharks known as Bruce. For now, welcome home. What a perfect suburban neighborhood, USA. You'll see our chicken ranch house on your right-hand side. No more shark attacks. Now, our chicken ranch house, by horror movie fans, still recognized as his House of 1,000 Corpses, directed by Rob Zombie. Also, music video for LMFAO Sorry for Party Rock, and it's a really fun example because that house has such a unique resume. Here are some more examples on your monitors. So folks, I will say this. A lot of our studio tours have been full length with almost everything open because of the writer's strike and the SAG strike. Stuff is picking back up, so future tours to come, I could see this street being closed very often and our metro sets being closed due to filming. So take all the photos you can. Welcome down to 1 Colonial Street. A lot of our guests will recognize it as Wisteria Lane from Desperate Housewives. You'll notice a yellow house on your left. That is currently featured in the Netflix show Never Have I Ever, the Mindy Kaling young adult show. All 4 seasons of Never Have I Ever filmed here, so the main character, Davey, lives in that house. Of course, this is what it looked like on your monitors when Desperate Housewives filmed here, as Wisteria Lane took over the street for 8 full seasons. Quick example, this little park on your left actually wasn't here until after the success of season 1 of Desperate Housewives, where they added a couple of new neighbors. Back in the 80s, this was recognized as The Burbs with Tom Hanks and Carrie Fisher. If you're a big fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, we watched the Hush episode. This was Sunnydale. The street looked a little different back then, too. All the shows we already talked about have probably been to or in some way or another. And a fun little treat, this great house on your right with the red door. You look through some of the windows and see the trees behind it. Only 3 walls of a house. Most of the other houses are full shells. You know, the brown house on your left is the official Ace Hardware home. They put the big 3 ACE letters above the awning for those commercials. The second blue house on your left is the Cleaver House. 1996 remake Louie the Dealer, or where Flash Gordon lives if you watch Ted 2, or if you watch the movie YM, that's where Bryan Cranston characters live. You know. Now, there is a brand new show coming out, brand new movie I should say. A lot of stuff is filmed here. It's called Candy Cane Lane, starring Eddie Murphy. The trailer just came out not too long ago. It will be an Amazon Prime movie. And they took over the street for like several months, like a year ago. So Candy Cane Lane, if that sounds familiar, months to come, you end up watching that movie somehow, make sure to know that you've actually traveled through Candy Cane. I'm not sure what it's going to look like myself. And even this on your monitors, the Kelly Clarkson Daytime Talk Show took over our entire backlot for this stunt a couple of years back.
I am here on the backlot of Universal Studios to give some very special people a surprise of their lives. Stop this trap! This is Cloud9. Hi, I'm American. Welcome. Remember the iconic square? Oh my God, let's go back to stage 1. Follow me.
A classic tour. That's what always happens. Our beautiful champagne brunch. All right, folks. We got about 15 more minutes left on the studio tour. We got some really cool set visits upon us. Have your cameras ready. We're still cleaning up from Halloween Horror Nights. Most of it should be taken down by now. So we got some really cool set visits in the horror genre. Our grand finale, all these neck of the woods. As always, please remain seated. Don't forget about the red emergency cord, just in case anything were to happen. We'll make a small little U-turn. We'll have some more picture cars coming up on your right this time. One of my favorites, there is a green mint Mini Cooper belonged to Mr. Bean from Mr. Bean's Holiday, played by Rowan Atkinson. Like I mentioned, all this construction, we're taking down part of our Terror Tram event from Halloween Horror Nights. A good chunk of the tail end of vehicles are from the Fast and Furious franchise. If you're not aware, Fast X, the most recent movie, is currently streaming on Peacock. Check it out. I love those movies too. Jason Momoa, great bad guy in Fast X. Alright, just around the corner, let's start things off our little trilogy of horror. It's welcoming me now to the Bates Motel and the home to Norman Bates and Mother, all based on the 1960 thriller Psycho. It appears that Norman Bates is home. So I was not trained on this either. We'll figure this out together. Find your seats. Keep a profile. What do you say to a man like Norman? Hi, good afternoon, Norman. We're just finishing up our tour. Got some big fans on board. Love the movies, all that good stuff. We'll notice it's a great day, so we'll leave you alone with your business and Mother and all that good stuff. And, oh, time for autographs? What's that? Oh, that's not a pen. That's a knife. Okay, let's get out of here. Oh, car 4, you might cut it close. Oh, real close. Oh my gosh. Norman really focuses on customer service. We're bringing out one of the world's largest movie sets ever constructed. This is the plane crash scene site built for Steven Spielberg's 2005 horror sci-fi movie, War of the Worlds.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
When we first began to sit down to talk about the War of the World, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep listen to me. Listen to me. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Now closed. Robbie, get in.
All around us, once a real Boeing 747 aircraft, bought by production from an airplane graveyard, broken apart into several big pieces before shipping it slowly on flatbed trucks around Los Angeles to stage all of this. If you decide to go home and rewatch War of the Worlds, do keep in mind you'll only see this plane crash scene site for about 4 minutes or less in the entire movie. A lot of it filmed on location in New York and New Jersey, also filmed at our sound stages on our front lot. We got taken out into one of our newest set visits here on the studio tour. This movie filmed a little bit north of here and also filmed at our sound stages. We're going to bring it down to the set of Jupiter's Claim, built for Jordan Peele's movie Nope, hit theaters summer 2022. The movie starred Kiki Palmer, Candy Kaluuya, Steven Yeun, and here to tell us more, writer-director of Nope, Mr. Jordan Peele.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible mission and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky June Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Sheriff. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? What? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Wrestle experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of a golden frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot. Welcome to the world of
So if you have not seen this movie, this is a spoiler-free set visit. If you have seen the movie, you're terrified of what's going to happen. The Star Lasso experience is a scene you really can't digest. It's hard to come back from. This is like an homage to the movie. Like I said, spoiler-free set visit. If you have seen the movie, nice little touch.